Hey everybody, it is Yo Taylor back here at the Style Table on My Style Mondays, and today is extra special because today is actually my anniversary. I have had 13 years of wedded bliss. I am over the moon, and thank you for joining me briefly because I have things to do today. Secondly, I have a special guest. Uh, Kimberly Atchison Fletcher is a group member of Style Closets and Dividends. She is a fashionista extraordinaire.
Mm.
She has an amazing jewelry and shoe collection like none other. And we won't even talk about the fact that she can just whip up an outfit that she needs for an event if she can't find what she's looking for. Talk about talent. Now, speaking of which, she's a model. She's always modeled. Her family has modeled. But now she is the CEO and founder of Kim Said What. She is a voiceover actor. So she's going to tell us what Kim said.
Oh, Kim said what? Uh, Hi,
Welcome to the show.
and
Yeah.
thank you, and happy anniversary.
Thank you.
I'd like to say I was there almost from the beginning, not completely from the beginning, but almost. And and if I can share that, Yolanda and I are actually family in that her husband and my sister's husband are brothers. So we share the same nieces and nephews. We are family. So that's why I've been around for a very long time to see the relationship grow and be where it is today. So again,
Oh, thank you.
yes.
Yeah, it's been a ride. It's been fun. It's been awesome, and I definitely feel blessed to have married to such a wonderful, loving, welcoming family. There's just nothing. I can't even express how grateful I am for that. You know, you hear stories about what other people go through, but I never experienced any of that. Nothing but sisterly love, and it's been wonderful. A wonderful blessing and experience to be a part of the family. So thank you. So we are okay. Distracted by the fabulous earrings.
Oh, oh, what you mean these?
Yes.
And they are rubber.
Get
They
out
are
of
rubber.
town.
They are. They're recycled rubber, and they actually don't. They are a set, but they don't match. These are circular on one side and angular on the other. I'll explain the significance of rubber earrings in voiceover work in a minute. But
Okay, and the part that I love because I am loving the whole sustainability and they are recycled materials. So
mhm,
that is fantastic.
absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic. Now I just need to know what made you, besides the fact that you have an incredible voice and everybody's been telling you to do this for years, what was the final trigger that you just said, I'm going for it?
I have talked about it much too long. Um, I for years we, as you said, we modeled as a family. I have twins, so got the girls in modeling very early, and then my husband and I kind of joined. And I was actually a theater major in college. I think you know that. I was a drama major in college, and so I did a lot of musicals and straight dramas in school. And then while though we were doing a voiceover, a commercial at our house, excuse me, um, the director asked me to read a few lines off camera. And when the commercial was produced and aired, it was in a voiceover format. So they would ask me questions, and then I was voicing much of the commercial. I'm going to have a drink of water. Excuse me. No, this is going to happen. But so with that commercial, then became I was hired by a marketing firm to voice a, a capital campaign for a church in Maryland. Then I did some other things. So it just kind of one thing led to another. And but they were spotty and they weren't necessarily, consistent. But then as the years went on, I thought, I love this. And this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I've been in a different field for a few decades. and it's been a good career. But if you really are in the arts, it's hard for that to leave your system. And so I knew that I wasn't going to be an on-air actress because that wasn't, I wasn't hungry enough for that. But when I started doing voiceover, it just became so natural to me. And so in the last 2 years, I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And you may not know this, Yo, but I applied for something called a Baldwin Scholarship for the Baldwin Foundation in my local area. And it's a scholarship that's meant for area executives to pursue something personal to them, not at all related to the business they do. It's something that feeds their soul. And you're supposed to write this whole proposal and explain how you would use the scholarship money for your own fulfillment so that ultimately you're a better executive. That was about this time last year. And if you have to get bad news, you should be in Puerto Rico. So I was in Puerto Rico and I got the email that I was not selected for the scholarship. I really was fine and went and had a mojito, so I was great. But it never left me. The thought never left me. And my project was basically saying that I was going to pursue voiceover work. I was going to, in my mind, go to California, find a voiceover coach and a producer and produce a demo. And there's a set amount of scholarship money with which to work. That obviously that didn't work out because I was not selected. However, this never left me. And I'm a member of a national group called the National Drifters Incorporated. And one of my drifter sisters told me about demo that she had just done. So I reached her offline and she connected me with a man right outside of Baltimore. So very close to me, not California. And long story short, we had an introductory session, and then I have now voiced 2 demos. So I have 2 professional demos that have been produced, one a commercial demo and one a narration demo. So even though I was not selected for that scholarship, I realized every single thing that I wrote in my proposal, I realized on my own. So I'm not beholden to the scholarship. I'm not beholden to anyone but myself. And it really just sparked that. And now I can't let it go. So here I am.
That is so exciting. I think, especially as we get older, it's like you need to just get on the field because you don't want to end up sitting on a rocking chair going, not that all senior citizens sit on rocking chairs. Some of them are running and jumping out of planes, but doing skydiving. But you don't want to sit back and have regrets about all the things that you could have done, should have done. Right. So I applaud you for just jumping in with both feet and not letting other things stop you from doing what you want to do. I have just made it my personal mission to go ahead and do things that I find scary. And just taking a chance. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to do it and see what happens and enjoy life. As long as it's nothing that's going to potentially, land me in a hospital.
Exactly.
So that is so exciting. You have an incredible voice. I've always said that. And I've said she has that voice for radio. She could be the late night DJ, this is Kim.
Oh my. One voiceover coach told me years ago, he said, you have a very good voice. He said, I don't see you selling ketchup. I said, but I'd sell ketchup. And he said, nope, I see you doing fine dining, exotic travel, fine jewelry. And I reminded him how much he must have known me. Yeah. So, that is somewhat of I guess a little raspiness to my voice, but yeah.
It's very, there's a listen, it's very sultry, it's very sexy, but you have more than one gear with your voice because you can go straight into that very professional, very matter of fact, very direct, professional voice. I think that's just my opinion,
Mhm.
you know.
On my demo, on my narration demo, one of the pieces that was the most challenging, but the most fun was a kids segment. And I had to say like fluffy cat and be very animated. And it was more of a stretch. And my producer, it came out really well. And the producer said, because you were acting. And because when you take your voice into those inflections, you use your hands a lot and you like make faces if you're like, bumbling cat or something silly. And he said, but that's acting and that's what you were born to do. And so, well, maybe not born to do, but that's at least what I studied doing, and it's
Mhm.
natural to me. So even though that was a stretch, that was a fun one to produce, the kids piece, because it is very different from my normal voice, if you will.
Do you find that making the facial expressions and going through the motions, like you said, acting, that helps you to really translate what you're saying even
Yeah.
more effectively?
Yes, it makes it come to light. Because I had to think of what a fluffy cat was. So I had to kind of like puff myself up or so absolutely you have to have that image in your mind. And I will say that my producer, when I was first working with him, he said, before you even start reading, imagine your audience. So if
Mm.
it's a Colgate commercial, who uses Colgate? I'm like, everyone, I hope. And he said, but it can be for children, for men, for women, all ages, people who care about the health of their teeth, people who care about, the aesthetics of their look. I mean, so it just really gives you a visual. So as I was thinking in that case with children, what gets children's attention? They like animation. They like being ostentatious and really like grabbing their attention, because the children can be distracted so easily. So yes, facial expressions or having a certain image definitely puts you in that mindset.
See, that's awesome. Because I have the same voice. My husband says I sound country.
You do not.
Oh, that's because he's from Philly. He's a city guy. I'm just the girl from Ohio. So let's talk a little bit about how, I know it's hard to think about this, but actually, fashion can affect your voiceover, auditions, and things. So, can you give us some tips and some things that you know what not to wear and what to wear actually when you enter a studio for an audition or to perform?
Yes. And for me, it's been different for live camera work, on camera work versus behind the scenes. On camera, you are potentially dressing for the part that you're going for. You want the director and the producers to see you when they see, if the character's name is Patty and so forth, you want them to, when they see you, see Patty. And whatever Patty might wear, she might wear something dressy. It might be tight. It might be really loose. It might be sweats. Whatever that look is, you're trying to portray that image. It's different for voiceover work. Voiceover work, you're behind the camera, so people aren't seeing you. Yes, the producer's seeing you on screen or at an audition, but when you're working, it's your voice. That's your instrument. But I mentioned earlier that the rubber earrings are something that will be very helpful. It's because I wear, and Yolanda, you know this, I wear a lot of jewelry. I just really do. But jewelry, if you can hear this, makes noise. And so when you audition and when you're working, you need to be as you need to have as few distractions as possible. So I don't wear any bracelets, and I often wear more than one ring on a finger. I will make sure that I only have one ring on fingers and nothing next to each other, because since I am animated, you're going to hear that clicking. And with the high power microphones, it picks up everything. So I'm much more minimal when I in my jewelry. It might be in my handbag, so I know it's there, but it's not on me. But these rubber earrings, I could see wearing these because they're not making any noise. And I also, they're long, so I have to make sure that they don't touch the fabric here. It's a lot to think about. And I just got these earrings and they had matching bracelets. So I'm so excited. I think I'm going to have to go get a rubber bracelet so I feel as though I'm fully bejeweled, but not clinking. So those are things that I think about. And even, like I said, just my clothing, I have to make sure that I'm comfortable because you're sitting for a very long time. And so you don't want to have on anything that's, tight or where you're like, I look cute, but I'm really uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable. You want it to be as easy as possible. And also I take my shoes off. I have on socks, but I take my shoes off because I don't want my heels, even if they're flats, to make any noise with the floor. So it's those things you have to really think about.
Wow. I mean, that's definitely some serious information. If someone out there is looking to do voiceover work, those are big style considerations. That's a big piece of information that could make the difference in whether or not you get the audition or not.
Correct.
So that was a big chunk of knowledge, style knowledge, that you just dropped on our guest today.
Did I drop the mic? I'm just kidding. I know that was corny.
Kim said what? She said, don't come in here with your clanky jewelry, but don't wear too much, and invest in recycled materials like the fabulous. Can you tell us where you got those earrings to?
Oh, there is a boutique. I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and there's a boutique called Festoon. We are going to go your next trip here. Fantastic. I actually got this jacket from there as well.
So, cool.
I'm repping Festoon right now. So yeah, so that's where I got these earrings. And they're lovely. So yeah.
See, I love that. We're definitely supporting small business. And this is a woman-owned business or couple business?
It's a woman-owned business. Yes. Absolutely.
So we definitely want to support women-owned businesses as well, being women-owned business owners ourselves.
Exactly.
So yeah. So I also want to talk to you a little bit more about where you see yourself going in the next few years. Is there any particular type of genre in terms of radio or like, I love books on audio, and I love when I'm listening to even like meditation, inspirational, what do you call that? Like inspirational meditations where where I can hear like this really relaxing voice,
calming voice.
Oh my gosh, when I'm walking, because I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm taking care of the house, and to hear a soothing voice makes the difference in which book I actually purchase, even when I'm listening to someone's biography.
Well, and that's a really good question. In that's why I made two different types of demos at this point. I did a commercial and a narration. The commercial is more of the Colgate commercial. I have that was kind of just my test, but I voiced and again, just for the demo, one for Nike, one for Acura, one for eHarmony. So those are the commercials, if you will. The narration would be the kids' piece, one on Bob Ross. He was the painter who had a fro, and he would always paint a lot of trees.
I loved him.
I did a piece on him, and it starts like, Bob Ross, his voice brings a calm, and it's just really cool. So that's one. I did a piece on, it was a PSA, so a public service announcement on emphysema. Whew. I read it at first. He said, well, read it before you read it out loud. And I looked at him. I said, this is really heavy because it's about emphysema. That's not a light subject. But
Right.
so I like them both. I like the commercial because that tends to be more upbeat, maybe not, but about a specific subject about, it's Nike, whatever the case may be, Acura, and it was about children in a car. So that was very specific. But the other piece, I think, can draw you in. The Bob Ross piece can draw you in. There was one about a hospital, and it was talking about their heart center, and that kind of draws you in. So I like both of them. Radio would be fantastic. I really have not had that exposure, but I see myself more doing commercials in voiceover, at least from what I've heard, and it's not from my personal experience at all, but movie trailers. That is when you've hit the mecca when you do a movie trailer. But you tend to hear more men on movie trailers. That's just,
Well,
that is just been the reality. But I really could see myself doing as many commercials as possible, because with most commercials, you'll see a principal actor, you'll see people talking, acting, but at the end, you usually hear a voice. I look at commercials a little differently. That's what a voiceover is. But books on tape is huge, and I plan to enter that market with force. I was actually on the number one website for voicing books on tape yesterday, just kind of playing around and looking. So I need to finish my profile with them, but that is something that I absolutely want to be involved
in. Yeah. It makes such a difference for me and my experience, especially if I'm listening to books. One of my favorite books on Audible, I like listening to, is called A Woman's Book of Soul, and by Sue Patton Thiel. And I sometimes, when I'm at night, I just want to relax, and the voices on that book are just as powerful as the words. And it is so relaxing and so calming. And that's what your voice is. That, I mean, of course, it's sultry and sexy and upbeat and professional, but you do have a very calming voice. So I could easily see you definitely blowing that out the water.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's my plan. Kim said what?
Kim said what? She said that is her plan.
That is my plan. So,
well, this has been so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on my special day to share this time with me, and thank you for the anniversary wish. And I wish you all the best. Although I'll see you in a few.
I was going to say I'll see you in a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, but thank you so much. And anytime you ask me to come on, I will always be here. So,
and always looking fabulous, by the way. And you guys know where you can find me. I'm at thestyletable.com. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. And Kimberly, if someone wants to hire you, like me, because I've hired you too.
Yes, yes, you have.
Yes, you will be the voice of At the Style Table, my Style Mondays. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited about that.
How can someone hire you?
Well, I have an account on SoundCloud, and so I'm still doing some tweaks, but all of my demos are on SoundCloud. All of my pieces, I think it's 13 in total, all of my professionally produced pieces. But my email, and I have one thing my producer encouraged me to do is I have my own personal email. He said, but create one just for your business. And so that no one forgets the name, it's kimsaidwhat.vo, which is voiceover. So it's kimsaidwhat.vo@gmail.com.
All right, there you have it. Kimberly is going to put her information with her email, so you can contact her in the comments after the show so you can contact her directly. And you guys, I am a wardrobe strategist, as you know. So if you need to take the stress out of your style, contact me at thestyletable.com and let me help you align your style with your current and future lifestyle. See you next week on My Style Mondays, every week, every Monday at 7 p.m. See you next time. Bye.